Good evening and welcome to the Vandy Gym for tonight's Center Grove girls basketball game as the Trojans host the Lawrence North Wildcats. Hello everyone, Kevin Conrad along with Brent Nickerson. We welcome you to Center Grove girls basketball, proudly presented by Evergreen Lawn Care. Tonight is the season finale for these two teams as they will begin sectional play next week. And Brent, you always want to end on a high note before the state tournament. And the Trojans tonight hosting a very good Lawrence North team. This Wildcat team, it depends on which poll you want to look at, but they're number 4, they're number 6. Bottom line, they're a great team, but Lawrence North coming in here with a couple of losses here in the last few games, so maybe the Trojans can put one together here tonight and try to snap a 14-game losing streak against the Wildcats.
Yeah, both teams come in similar situations, trying to kind of find their identity again, gain their confidence back. Center Grove, since a loss to Martinsville, just 6-4 to end the season in the last 10. And Lawrence North, as you said, they opened the season with 19 straight wins. They were 19-0, ranked number 1 in some polls, number 2 in others to Northwestern, and now they've lost 3 of their last 4 to Homestead, Hamilton Southeastern, and Fishers. So, like you said, both teams want to gain some confidence, gain some momentum heading into that sectional play. And for Center Grove, it's just about finding that grit, the team chemistry, the toughness again, Kevin, that we've seen throughout the entire early part of the season. Then they kind of lost it. You had mentioned it the other night, just said it looked a little flat, just didn't come out with quite as much energy, and that's exactly what Coach Kevin Stuckmeyer told me today. They need to get that grit and toughness back.
Center Grove 17-5 on the season. Very good here on the home court this season. 7 wins, 1 loss. Trojans 3-3 in conference play, 2-1 in conference play here at home, 1-2 on the road. And for Lawrence North, they're 20-3 overall, 6-1 on the road, and they are the MIC champs this year. They are undefeated at 6-0, so the Trojans would like to hand the Wildcats their first loss in conference play here tonight. Head coach Kevin Stuckmeyer for the Trojans in his 3rd year, 60 wins, 16 losses. He's 0-2 against the Wildcats. Head coach for LN, Chris Giffen, in his 8th year, 168 wins, 35 losses. Before we get to tonight's starting lineups, we'll pause for the playing of our national anthem.
Starting lineups for tonight's contest, first for Lawrence North. At guard, a 5'5 senior, number 1, Christian Young. At guard, a 5'5 senior, number 3, Kaylin Irvin. At forward, a 5'10 senior, number 12, Katie Davidson. At forward, a 5'9 senior, number 15, Lauren Gunn. And at guard, a 5'11 junior, number 24, Jayla Smith. The Wildcats are coached by Chris Giffen. And now the starting lineups for the Center Grove Trojans. At guard, a 5'7 senior, number 2, Elena Frankel. At guard, a 5'7 senior, number 3, Ashley Eck. At guard, a 5'9 senior, number 23, Claire Rake. At forward, a 5'7" senior number 24, Emily Rake. And at forward, a 5'10" junior number 33, Mary Wilson. The Trojans are coached by Kevin Stuckmeyer.
Thank you very much, Jason Mueller on the PA, doing a great job as always. We're ready to tip this one off between Center Grove and Lawrence North. Regular season finale for both teams as they get ready for the state tournament next week. Center Grove in the home white uniforms, Lawrence North in the red uniforms trimmed in white and green. Center Grove has lost 14 straight against Lawrence North. The last home win against Lawrence North, you go back to January of 2004. So it's been a while since the Trojans have beaten the Wildcats here on the home floor. And the tip is run down by Ashley Eck, senior for the Trojans, and we are underway. Last year, the Trojans lost in a close one at Lawrence North, 34-29. And then 2 years ago here at the Vandy, the Trojans lost a tough one, 50-47. Zone defense by the Wildcats here to begin tonight's ball game. Mary Wilson has been shooting extremely well, 22 points this past Saturday against Ben Davis. Had 20 points Tuesday night against Greenwood. Eck in the high post. Fakes, now goes up strong off the glass and scores.
Good start for Ashley Eck. Patient offensive possession there for Center Grove. They find a good high percentage shot and they knock it down. They lead 2-0. Yeah, we're going to get a travel call there on Kristen Young. She took off before she put it on the ground. So turnover for Lawrence North. And Kevin, that's what Center Grove hangs their hat on, forcing turnovers and playing good solid defense. And so far so good. One possession, one turnover by Lawrence North.
Center Grove got that first basket from Ashley Eck, senior. Third lead scorer for the Trojans, averaging 7 points a ball game. She leads CG with 6 rebounds per game, and now Claire Rake fires a three. Rimmed it, offensive board, shot by Wilson. Doesn't go. Emily Rake inside position gets the offensive board. So a couple of nice inside offensive rebounds for the Trojans, and now a foul against the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's going to be on number 24, Jayla Smith. Good offensive rebound by Emily Rake and also one by Mary Wilson. So good start so far for Center Grove. A couple offensive rebounds, a bucket, and a forced turnover. Good pass there.
Pull-up shot by Rake is long. A battle for the rebound, saved by Christian Young from going out of bounds. Jayla Smith goes right back to Young. And she throws it to the wing and throws out of bounds. So a rough start here for the Wildcats.
Another forced turnover. That one was kind of unforced error by LN as Christian Young got up in the air and threw it out of bounds. And Kevin, one thing I think Center Grove really needs to find more scoring than Claire Rake and Mary Wilson tonight. Ashley Eck, Emily Rake, bench players, whoever it may be, Elena Frankel driving, whatever it is, going into the state tournament, they're going to need more than just 2 options. As there's a turnover forced by number 33, or excuse me, number 12. That was Katie Davidson forcing the turnover by Center Grove.
Good ball reversal here by Lawrence North. Gunn, should say Davidson down the lane, pass tipped out of bounds. Lawrence North will throw it in. 5:39 to play, first quarter. Center Grove 2, Lawrence North 0. Final tune-up for both teams before the state tournament. Not for sure if she was established in bounds.
She wasn't. There's no way. I saw some crowd. I was watching it too. Should have been a turnover on LN, but nonetheless, they don't call it. There's a great move by number 24, Jayla Smith. She averages 14 points. That one's good. That's going to be on number 23, Claire Rake, her first.
Jayla Smith averaging 14 points a ball game. She leads the way for Lawrence North. Hits on the free throw. Wildcats have their first lead of the ball game, 3-2, and quickly they go with the full court pressure. And so far, the Trojans have handled the pressure, trying to get across the timeline. They do. High right side, Rake into the corner, Wilson. Back on top to Frankel, and now they'll set the offense as Frankel decides no to drive it and just rolls it off. She had a couple of bounces there on the cylinder. It goes out of bounds at last touch. Kaylin Irvin for LN. So CG ball with 5:05 to play here in this opening quarter.
And that's a good drive by Frankel. If she can get that going tonight, she'll knock those down. There's a Mary Wilson three, and she does it again. Starts off right where she left off the other night. A three by Mary Wilson.
5-3 Trojans. Wilson now 47 threes on the season. Second most for the Trojans. Turnover by the Wildcats. Center Grove in front early, 5-3.
Here comes more full court pressure. You're going to see this all night by Lawrence North. How Center Grove can handle this pressure as they turn it over right there is going to be a key to this game. LN is long and athletic.
Spin move, good save by Atlanta Frankel. Kept that one away from Christian Young, who missed the shot. Wilson again, three-pointer, this time from the deep left corner, short. Rebound cleared out by Davidson. Outlet pass stolen.
Great job by Ashley Eck. Great athletic move. And
she saves it. Rake hits the three. That is Claire Rake, her first basket tonight. Great start for CG, up 8-3. Again, Center Grove trying to snap a 14-game losing streak against the Wildcats.
I was talking to Claire Rake after the game the other night. She was down on herself. You saw the body language the other night against Greenwood wasn't the best, and she had two tough shooting nights, Ben Davis and Greenwood. Just glad to see her getting off to a hot start. She really needs to keep shooting.
Foul against Wilson, number one against Wilson. 2 fouls against the Trojans.
They have 6 players. Oh, no. Down number one, Christian Young will check out the game. Young is a 5'5 senior. She's going to Valpo next year to play.
Monica Williams into the ball game. She's a freshman at 5'10". 3:45 to play first quarter. Center Grove 8, Lawrence North 3. Corner three doesn't go.
Yeah, and that's their offense. Ellen's offense is drive and kick, try to find open threes. There's a turnover almost by Ashley Eck, but that's the exact look that Lawrence North wants, that corner three.
Corner three missed by Kaylin Irvin, a 5'5 senior guard. Coach Stuckmeyer calling out the play here for the Trojans. Heavy pressure by the Wildcats. Tenacious defense by LN. They've already forced a few turnovers here in the first quarter. Skip pass to Wilson. Ball got away from Wilson. She maintains possession. Eck goes right back to Wilson. LN really extending with their defense.
Yeah, they're long, they're athletic. They get their hands on a lot of basketballs, and Center Grove's going to have to do a good job of handling that in the half court. They find Claire Rake, wide open three. No good there.
She was long with it. Chased down by the freshman, Monica Williams. 2:35 to play opening quarter. 8-3 Trojans down the lane. Scoop shot by Jayla Smith. She's fouled. She'll go back to the line to shoot two.
That's going to be on Elena Frankel on the reach in. And Jayla Smith used her quickness.
Jayla Smith will line 2 shots.
She's now 2 out of 2 from the free throw line. Again, she leads LN in scoring, averaging 14 points a ball game. She also leads the team, averaging 4 steals per game, along with 3 rebounds per game and 2 assists per game. So she does a little bit of everything for this Lawrence North team, and she's only a junior at 5'11", and she hits both free throws. So she's got all 5 points for the Wildcats. 8-5, Center Grove by 3. Lothamer now in the ball game for CG, and she throws it a little bit too high. Taken away by the Wildcats. Center Grove still having some difficulty handling the defensive pressure by the Wildcats. Davidson misses on the perimeter shot. Offensive rebound, Hughes. Right back to Davidson. 3-point shot fake by Young, and she's too quick on the takeoff. She's called for traveling.
Yeah, she picked up that pivot foot before she put the ball on the ground again. That's the second time that's happened for Christian Young, the 5'5 senior guard. She averages 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Great all-around player for LN.
See how the Trojans handled the press this time. Much, much better. Center Grove by 3. Ellen had a lead of 3-2, but since then, Center Grove has maintained the lead as we're inside 2 minutes here in the first quarter. Claire Rake sets for a 3, and she is short. Kicks out long on the rebound. Here comes Williams, the freshman. Great speed in transition. She misses the layup. Claire Rake with the rebound. Rake terminates the dribble, finds Wilson for 3. She hits it again. Wilson's got 6 points on 2 3-pointers.
Good find there by Claire Rake. She saw Mary Wilson spotting up, let the defense kind of fly by, got it to her. She knocks it down. 11-5 now, Center Grove.
65 threes now for Mary Wilson. I misspoke early on. She shoots 46% from the field, and she now has 65 threes on the season. 2 of them here tonight. Now over and back against the Cats. 11-5 Trojans in front. 1:09 to play in the first quarter. Ashley Eck will get her first break as we see Emily Rake back in.
Another unforced turnover by the Wildcats, and Coach Giffen not very happy. They trail by 6 with 1:09, but they've been pretty sloppy with the ball, Kevin.
Frankel finds Wilson in the corner for another 3. This time she's short. She was wide open. Not for sure how.
I don't either.
Leave her wide open. Williams pass out on top. It's going to be Trojan ball. And a very sloppy start. You are correct, Brent, with Ellen's offense here in the half court.
Yeah, and Center Grove does such a good job under Coach Stuck just to get in passing lanes. Some teams aren't used to it. And we've seen that a couple times here. I remember Lawrence Central came in here in all kinds of trouble with Center Grove, as did Warren Central. So it's not uncommon for teams to come in here not ready for this help side defense and playing these passing lanes. There's a foul, number 10. That's going to be on Sydney Hughes.
Number 1 on Hughes, number 2 on the Wildcats. And we can tell here in the first quarter for Center Grove, they seem a lot more energized tonight.
Yep.
They're more active with the defense, moving better on offense as well. Gothamer going to work down low. She put it on the hardwood, and she just lost it, taken away by Hughes.
Yeah, tough to put it on the floor there in the lane with all those LN Wildcats. There's going to be a foul on, is that going to be Mary Wilson? If it is, that's 2. That's not a good foul for Center Grove.
Strong take by Davidson. Katie Davidson, senior, 5'10". And Wilson will have to lead the ball game with 2 fouls. Ashley Eck back in for CG. Tough break for Mary Wilson. She's got 2 3-pointers, 6 points, leading the way for the Trojans. 35 seconds remaining first quarter. Center Grove in front, 11-5. In the computer rankings, Lawrence North ranked number 4 in the state of Indiana. Center Grove ranked number 14. So you got 2 of the very finest teams going head-to-head here tonight. Corner 3, she fakes the shot out on top. 3-pointer on the way, doesn't go for Graves. On the rebound, a whistle, foul against the Wildcats.
Yeah, and that's the things that Coach Stuckmeyer, you were talking about at practice, is they do all these little things. There's just a box out by Ashley Eck. A lot of teams don't work on it. They work on it, they get a foul called. So great fundamental basketball player by Ashley Eck on just a simple box out.
Hughes with 2 fouls, 4 team fouls. I should say 3 team fouls against the Wildcats, 3 team fouls, and 2 of those against Hughes. Center Grove breaks the press. Now Eck double teamed on the wing, and she tried to get it back and called for the reach-in foul. She had the ball taken away from behind. She didn't see the defender come from behind her. Knocked it loose and took it away. That is Christian Young with the steal, and for Ashley Eck, that's her first foul. And they take the last second shot, and that brings us to the end of the first quarter here at the Vandy Gym, and Center Grove leads Lawrence North 11-5 in the regular season finale. State tournament for both teams begins next week. This is Center Grove Trojan basketball. Tonight's game being presented by Evergreen Lawn Care. Tonight's game being presented by Evergreen Lawn Care. Evergreen Lawn Care, locally owned and operated, specializing in personalized service, Services include free lawn survey, balance fertilization, weed control, crabgrass control, grub prevention, aeration. Evergreen Lawn Care has been helping to keep lawns green in Johnson County since 1988. Call 317-535-0300 for a free estimate. We played one quarter here at the Vandy. Center Grove leading Lawrence North 11-5. Again, the Trojans trying to snap a 14-game losing streak against the Wildcats. Center Grove last beat the Wildcats back in 2005, so it's been a while. Good start, though, for the Trojans. To begin the second quarter, Lawrence North with the basketball. 3 out on top is good. Drilling the 3 is Graves. Big shot by Graves. She's a 5'7" junior.
Yeah, good pass by Kristen Young. Drove baseline, one-hand pass to Graves, and she knocked it down. Good job of breaking the press here by the Trojans.
Makes it 11-8. Center Grove by 3. Zone defense by the Wildcats. Again, extending on the perimeter. Wilson on the bench with 2 fouls. She's Center Grove's leading scorer. She had 2 threes for 6. And Claire Rake now with 2 threes and 6 points. That's a big shot.
Yeah, big shot. Center Grove really needed that. It's 14-8. More importantly, Claire Rake really needs to see that ball go in the basket tonight as we head into the state tournament. We all know she can shoot it. She set the school and MIC record with 8 earlier this season. She has 2 tonight.
Oh, nice pass inside. She couldn't quite finish. That was an excellent pass by Smith. Ball tipped out of bounds by Smith. Into the ball game we see for the Trojans, Emily Carr, 5'6" freshman. Elena Frankel gets her first break. Also in the ball game for the Trojans a little bit ago, subbing in was Emily McWilliams. She's out there, number 20. McWilliams with the dribble finds Ashley Eck. .6:20 to play, second quarter. 14-8, Center Grove in front by 6 over Lawrence North. In the high post, McWilliams. Pivoting, looking, trying to find someone. Has the ball knocked away. Nearly had the 5-second count. Ball out of bounds. It'll be Trojan ball. Knocking the ball away was Lauren Gunn.
Kevin, Lawrence North has 3 players on this roster going to play Division I basketball next year. Lauren Gunn being one of those. She'll be going to University of Illinois Chicago to play. Number 12, Katie Davidson, to Miami of Ohio. Great look there by McWilliams. No good. Rebound by Gunn.
Great entry pass by Ashley Eck, and Davidson again so aggressive with her drive, and foul against Emily Rake. This will be number 1 on Emily.
16 fouls already by the Trojans. 5:46 to play here in the first half, so next one, LN's in the bonus.
Irvin throws it back out on top to Young. Coach Stuckmeyer using quite a bit of that bench tonight. And now a foul against Carr. Her first. 17 fouls against the Trojans.
And Kristen Young will go to the line to shoot 1-1. Scoring update from the boys' action. Lawrence North leads Center Grove after 1, 16-8. 16-8 up at Lawrence North as Kristen Young makes her first.
In the junior varsity contest earlier tonight here at Center Grove, the CG girls team beat Lawrence North 58-18. Final game for the JV squad this year, 13 wins, 8 losses. Next free throw rolls off, and the JV Center Grove boys team won at Lawrence North 48-32. 14-9. CG girls varsity team leading Lawrence North with 5:20 to play here in the first half.
And Kevin, that girls JV team, that was the best game I've seen them play all year. I mean, they had 50-some points in 3 quarters. There's a Claire Rake 3 again, no good, short. Rebound by Gunn, and Young will push for the Wildcats.
Ball goes right through the legs of Lauren Gunn. She couldn't handle the bounce pass. Again, the Trojans trying to maintain their lead with Wilson on the bench. Again, she has 2 fouls, and she may ride the bench here the rest of this first half.
Yeah, if Center Grove can survive this and take their time on offense, they can take the air out of the ball a little bit. As long as they don't turn it over, they can keep Mary Wilson over there.
Wilson, a couple of 3, 6 points. Claire Rake, couple of 3, 6 points for the Trojans. The other basket, Ashley Eck for 2. Jayla Smith has 5 points for Lawrence North will lead the way for the Wildcats. Graves has a 3-pointer and 1 free throw by Christian Young. 14-9 Trojans. 4:25 to play in the first half.
Lots of patience here. They began this possession at the 5-minute mark. They've taken 40 seconds off. And Kevin, I'd be pretty happy just to stay out top here for a bit. Make Lawrence North do something different. Let Mary Wilson stay over there and stay out of foul trouble with a 5-point lead.
Oh, man, their defense, they get after you.
Yeah, they're another turnover.
Very active, yes. Young goes to the basket. She scores. She's fouled. She'll be at the line for 1 free throw for a chance for a 3-point play.
A good push there by Christian Young. She'll, like I said earlier, she'll be going to play at Valpo. She now has 3 points.
Foul number 2 against Emily Carr. So Carr with 2, Wilson on the bench with 2. Free throw here for Christian Young, and she got it. She's got 4 points in the ball game. She's their 3rd leading scorer, averaging 11 points a ball game. She also averages 4 rebounds and 4 assists. She's their number 1 assist person on this team. Wilson at the scorer's table, getting ready to check back in at the next dead ball.
She's going to be very careful on the defensive end. Another Claire Rake 3, no good. Off the back end. Iron, Emily Rake. Gives Center Grove a second chance.
A couple of offensive boards here in the first half for Emily Rake. Center Grove by 2, 14-12. 3:30 to play in the second quarter. Emily Rake inside Eck. She backs her way down, and she's fouled from behind.
Yeah, looks like they're going to get Lauren Gunn on her first.
Foul number 15, Lauren Gunn, that's her first. Mary Wilson.
Carr will leave the ball game. Good minutes defensively for Carr. As we see Wilson back in, and you're right, Brent, just got to make sure that Wilson does not pick up that 3rd foul. And they go right to her in the middle off the out-of-bounds play, and she misses on the shot. Chance for LN to tie the game or possibly take the lead with a 3-pointer. Young, Davidson. Goes right back to Young. They rotate it so quickly around the perimeter. Center Grove doing a good job sliding their feet here on defense. And now Young's going to fire a long one. No good. Rebound, Ashley Eck. Once again, Eck doing a great job with the block out. And then her pass a little too high for Wilson. Wilson couldn't quite snare that one out of the air. And then Wilson will come back to the bench as we'll see Carr back in. And again, trying to protect Wilson here defensively from picking up that 3rd foul.
Yeah, absolutely. Good possession there. A good opportunity on a possession by Center Grove, and they throw it away. Again, they lead by 2. Under 2:45 to play. And as you called it, Kevin, you said it'd be close. You said it'd be low scoring, and here we are, 2:30 to play first half. It's only 14-12.
Davidson fires a 3, rimmed it. She was short on it. Eck again with the rebound. Eck, Center Grove's leading rebounder, only at 5'7", but she does a darn good job on the boards. Center Grove maintains a 2-point advantage, 14-12. 2:10 to go first half. And Coach Stuckmeyer calls a 30-second timeout, stops the clock with 2:11 here in the first half. And again, the Trojans lead it by 2, 14-12. Tonight's game being presented in part by Farmers Insurance, the Jenny Stoops Agency. Also Chicago's Pizza, located in Franklin and Greenwood. and also by the Center Grove Girls Basketball League. Center Grove next week hosting Shelbyville on Tuesday night, 7:30, in the opener in the sectional. So the Trojans, 7:30, will play Game 2 on Tuesday night in the sectional against the Golden Bears. For Lawrence North, they earned a first-round bye. They'll be playing in the Tech sectional, so they'll play the winner of Tech and North Central next Friday at 6 o'clock. We resume play with 2:10 to go in the ball game, I should say, here in the first half. So again, down to 2 minutes now in the first half. 14-12, Center Grove by 2.
Yeah, Kevin, where's the offense going to come from right now on the court for Center Grove? Ashley Eck needs to kind of get established as right here. She penetrates. She does a good job of drawing fouls when she does.
Lothamer pull-up shot. Good look. Whistle. Foul on the weak side on the rebound against Irvin over the back of Carr. Carr doing a good job again with the inside position, blocking out, and draws the foul from Irvin.
Yeah, offense-defense substitution with Mary Wilson and Emily Carr. Good job there by Carr on the box out. You're right.
Nice.
Great pass. It left Claire Rake wide open. She knocks it down. She has 8. She's the leading scorer of the night for the Trojans.
Yeah, she's got half of the team's points. 16-12, Trojans. 90 seconds left to play in this first half. In the corner, 3, Smith, short rebound, Frankel.
Yeah, she needs to push while there's no defense set, and she does. Great fake, but
whistle, foul against Gunn. She seems a little surprised by it, but they're going to put a foul on 15.
It looked like she reached in a little.
Lauren Gunn, 5'9" senior. Number 2 on Gunn. 6 against Lawrence North. The next one puts the Trojans at the line for a 1-and-1. Subbing in is Graves, 5'7" junior. Gunn will take a breather with the 2 fouls. Eck, high right side, inside. Wilson, turnaround shot is off the mark. Lothamer offensive board, but had it taken away by Davidson.
Good board, even better takeaway by Davidson. Ellen gets the ball back. Mary Wilson has to be really careful right here.
Graves rotates it around the perimeter, back to Irvin. Smith goes right back to the corner this time. Irvin, she'll drive baseline, high floating shot, short. Good defense by Frankel. 40 seconds to play in the first half. CG may go for one shot. CG in front, 16-12. Last year's game, very low scoring at Lawrence North, 34-29. The Wildcats beat CG by 5. Again, we got another low scoring game here tonight. 25 seconds to play first half, and a near steal. Young wanted to travel on Claire Rake.
Probably had a good case. It looked like she did. She got kind of tied up and spun her around and couldn't hold her footing and hold the pivot foot, so probably got a break there.
Wilson, pull-up jump shot, good. She is so good on the threes, but also that mid-range shot. That time she drives and pulls up and hits it, and that will take us to halftime. Center Grove leads it by 6, 18-12, headed to the halftime locker room here at the Vandy. In the regular season finale, Center Grove trying to knock off number 4, Lawrence North. This is Center Grove Girls Basketball, being presented by Evergreen Lawn Care.
Fans, if you could please direct your attention to center court, where Center Grove Girls Basketball Parent Club representative Steve Rake stands with this year's girls basketball program corporate sponsors. In recognition of their support of this year's program, the following have been presented with a plaque honoring their support. First up, Steve Rake himself from Huntington Bank. Heather Wilson of Frost Brown Todd. Glenn Frankel of Family Watchdog. Jenny Stoops of Farmers Insurance. Don Line of Aqua Systems. Kevin Conrad from the Center Grove Sports Network. And not in attendance today, North Point Engineering and Surveying. Let's have a final round of applause for our 2019 and 20 girls basketball program sponsors. Thank you for your continued support.
Here at halftime, the Lady Trojans in front of Lawrence North, 18-12. Great opening half for CG. And how about Mary Wilson and Claire Rake doing the heavy lifting as far as from a scoring standpoint. Rake with 8, Wilson with 8, but Wilson picked up a couple of fouls, but Brent, Coach Duckmeyer, was able to bring her back in for offense and took her out when it was time to play some defense to try and protect her from picking up that third foul. But the Trojans, very impressive here in the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, absolutely. They handled the pressure of Lawrence North good enough. I mean, they did turn the ball over a couple times, or maybe a handful, but here they are with a 6-point lead. And I said, it always goes back to defense. If you can hold the number 4 team in the state of Indiana, the Lawrence North Wildcats, to 12 points at halftime, you're going to be in most games. So, as we said, it always starts on the defensive end for Coach Stuckmeyer and these Trojans, and they've done a great job tonight.
Scoring summary from the first half, Center Grove led 11-5 after the first quarter, and then in the second quarter, both teams scoring 7 points each to make the halftime score 18-12, Center Grove in front of the Wildcats. And Brent, I know you got our halftime scores.
Yeah, you have your win back? You good? You ran down there awful fast. You didn't pull a hammy or anything, did you?
Not yet, but I may have to ice later.
It was nice to hear your name called on those sponsors and them recognizing all you do for the Center Grove girls basketball program. So we'll go to the scoring in the first half. Kristen Young for Lawrence North, the Valparaiso commit. She had 4 points, 3 points for Anijah Graves, and 5 points by Jayla Smith. Again, only 3 Wildcats score in that first half, 5, 4, and 3 for their 12. For the Center Grove Trojans, again, the same thing. They only had 3 score as well. 2 points by Ashley Eck and 8 points apiece by Claire Rake, the 5'9" senior guard, and she'll be attending Truman State to play her college basketball. And Mary Wilson, who averages 15. She had 8 in that first half. So, again, a low-scoring game. But right now, Center Grove holds a 6-point lead, 18-12 over the Lawrence North Wildcats.
So again, doubleheader night tonight here at the Vandy in the JV contest. The Center Grove girls basketball team victorious, winning convincingly 58-18. That's the final game of the regular season for the JV team. 13 wins, 8 losses. And Brent, what a great way to end the season. The JV squad, all freshmen and 1 junior. So again, some potential there for the freshmen next year as sophomores to get some varsity minutes, and they just absolutely shot the lights out in that game against LN here in game 1 tonight.
Yeah, they really did. They were so efficient. I know I kept using that word, but they really were. They moved the ball well. They had at least 8 or 9 3-pointers. They shot the free throws well. It's the best 4 quarters of basketball I've seen them play all year, and to beat Lawrence North, who was 13-8 coming into the game, 58-18. What a performance by the JV. And like you said, it's almost all freshmen on that team.
And also in the junior varsity boys game being played at Lawrence North tonight, final score, the CG boys JV team victorious 48-32. So Coach Troy Burkhart and the JV boys team continue their winning ways, beating the Wildcats at LN. And last report, Brent, looking at your Twitter feed, the CG Hoops Twitter feed, it looks like the Center Grove boys team trailing 16-8 after the first quarter to Lawrence North. I don't know if you've got an update on that.
Unfortunately, I do. You're not going to want to hear this one, but Lawrence North leads by 19 at halftime. Center Grove's only mustered up 10 points up there. They trail 29-10 at halftime. Lawrence North is really, really good.
Very, very good. You are correct about that. Very, very good this year. The Lawrence North boys team, obviously the girls team also very, very good. So, again, CG taking on Lawrence North here at home in the girls contest, and the boys are playing up on the northeast side here tonight against the Wildcats. And now we see Lawrence North back on the court, getting ready to warm up for the second half. Tonight's game being presented by Evergreen Lawn Care. Evergreen Lawn Care is locally owned and operated, specializing in personalized service. Services include free lawn survey, balanced fertilization, weed control, crabgrass control, grub prevention, aeration. Evergreen Lawn Care has been keeping lawns green in Johnson County since 1988. Call 317-535-0300 for a free estimate. Also, tonight's game being presented in part by Farmers Insurance, the Jenny Stoops Agency, Chicago's Pizza, located in Franklin and Greenwood, the Center Grove Girls Basketball League as well. Also, the Center Grove Magazine, proud to support Lady Trojan basketball. Center Grove Magazine, your hyper-local community magazine, highlighting people, places, things, and events happening right here in Center Grove. Center Grove Magazine for the community, about the community, to serve the community. And check out the February issue of the Center Grove Magazine. I think it hit mailboxes today here in the Center Grove community. If you look inside the back page, you'll see a great picture of Center Grove senior Claire Rake, who tied the school record with 8 3-pointers earlier in the season, and that's also a tie on the MIC record as well. So again, 8 3-pointers earlier in the season by Claire Rake. So a great picture of Claire, one of the seniors here on the Center Grove girls basketball team. So check that out in the Center Grove Magazine inside the back page of the February issue. And now we see the Lady Trojans back out here on the court, and Brent, I think this game's going to come down to defense, minimize the turnovers, and hit free throws, doing all the little things, and they all add up when it comes to a final outcome.
Yeah, and I think being tough with the ball is going to be the key. Obviously, defense on this end for Center Grove, but being tough with the ball against that long and athletic pressure that Lawrence North is going to show here in the second half. Should come down to the wire like it always does against these two teams, and two really good teams. Obviously, Center Grove, number 13 in the state, and Lawrence North, number 4. But Kevin, I talked to Coach Stuckmeyer this morning, and his main thing was we have to be tough with the ball. And here in the second half, up by 6, they're going to put the pressure on.
And that concludes our halftime show. But a definite big thank you to Steve Rake and the Center Grove Girls Basketball Parent Club for recognizing the sponsors, and also including Center Grove Sports Network with that as well. So thank you, Steve Rake, and thank you to all the senior parents for inviting us to be a part of that at halftime. Very special moment.
Yeah, this is a really good group of kids and parents, and there's no reason they have a 17-5 record. They all like each other. It's a good group that does things the right way, and I like what I've seen tonight, Kevin. We've talked about this heading into the state tournament. Tonight was win or lose for both of these teams. They need to regain their identities and get back to the winning or confident ways heading into the state tournament, and we've seen that from Center Grove so far.
Center Grove with the basketball to begin the second half. The Trojans lead it by 6, 18-12. Zone defense once again by the Wildcats. They started the game off with the zone defense, and then we will see them at some point go to man. They did in the first half. One would think they might go to some man. They love to trap here in the corner.
That's not the place you want the ball right there, and there comes a tie-up or a turnover.
Yeah, you don't want to keep that ball too long in the corner. Either one, don't throw it there or get rid of it quickly. And Rake was tied up, and It's going to be turned over now to the Wildcats.
Yeah, I think in that case you're right. You don't throw it there because they're so fast. There's nothing Emily Rake could do. They were on top of her as soon as she got it and forced the turnover, and that's exactly the start that Lawrence North wanted.
Good ball movement. Three-pointer good. Jayla Smith. She's their #1 offensive player. 8 points for Smith.
Here comes the pressure by Lawrence North, full court. Like I said, they're just long and athletic. They have a timeout.
Almost a 10-second count, so Coach Stuckmeyer calls the 30-second timeout to avoid the violation.
Yeah, they called the timeout. Coach Giffen didn't hear it, but they did call a timeout. And that's a great start here by the Wildcats in this second half. They forced a turnover on one end, hit a three at the other, and forced a timeout on the press. So, Kevin, here we go. We're a minute in, and Lawrence North is establishing what they want.
You can tell defensively they've really stepped it up with their defense.
Yeah, if they bring energy with this press, it's going to be tough to get it across the 10-second line. First half, they pressed, but they weren't very energetic with it. Coach Giffen has them up and energetic right now.
Big win last night for the Center Grove boys swimming and diving team, ranked #9 in the state, knocked off #6 Franklin 99-86. The CG boys swimming and diving team now 12-1 on the season. Final meet next Tuesday at Bloomington South at 6 o'clock. And also tomorrow, big day for the Center Grove wrestling team, as they'll be at Mooresville for the sectional tournament. So best of luck to Coach Swain and the CG wrestlers. And now the Trojans throw the ball across court, out of bounds. Wilson, the intended recipient, couldn't handle it, wasn't really close, and the Trojans again speeding up a little bit too much here on offense.
And another forced turnover. And Claire Rake saw Mary Wilson open, but then she saw a red jersey and kind of threw it high. Forced turnover.
18-15, Lawrence North within 3. 6:30 to play, third quarter. Davidson tries to save it from going out of bounds, so the Wildcats likewise try to go with that skip pass and an ill-advised pass, and Davidson couldn't handle it.
Yeah, Lauren Gunn gave it right back to Center Grove.
See if the Trojans can handle this pressure and defense. Wilson for three, short. She tries to follow her own shot. Good rebound by Lauren Gunn. Pass into the front court, knocked out of bounds by Ashley Eck.
Always hustling. Ashley Eck so tough. I'd like to see her get established on the offensive side. If we can get her to drive or get the ball in the lane, maybe open up the three-point shooters a little bit. But she does a great job of drawing fouls once she gets it. They haven't really established that too much tonight.
Penetration by Young. There's that penetration with the kick pass to the corner to Irvin, and she drills the three. Tie ball game, 18-18. Ellen had the lead at one point early in the game, 3-2, and now they've got it tied. Claire Rake fakes the three, bounce pass to Frankel, and she'll pull it out with the dribble. High right side, Wilson. Finds Eck between the circles. Right back to Wilson. Eck takes it to the middle. Frankel. One dribble, finds Claire Rake. Right back to Frankel. Frankel splits two defenders and puts it in there. Her first basket.
Good smart move by the senior, Elena Frankel. Got to the basket, finished. Center Grove regains the lead by 2. It's 20-18.
5 minutes remaining here in the third. A little bit out of control. The Wildcats will maintain possession as Claire Rake knocks it out of bounds, and Emily Rake checks in for Wilson. Wilson again playing with 2 fouls, and give her a quick splash and go here. Off the out-of-bounds play, turned over. Davidson couldn't handle the pass, and here come the Trojans in front, 20-18. Frankel, she's bumped out on top, terminates the dribble. Ashley Eck pulls it out with the dribble.
Center Grove wanted to foul. Lawrence North wanted to travel, so I don't know what it was, but they didn't call anything. So
play on.
Keep playing.
It's gotten pretty physical here in the second half.
Yeah, the energy is definitely up by this Lawrence North defense.
Eck finds Rake. Now McWilliams at the free throw line. Frankel. 4:20 to play in the third. Center Grove very deliberate here in the half court. Good patience. Skip pass, Frankel. And she had it knocked out of her hands, and now she's forced to save it. She tried to get it to rake inside, and it's taken away by the Wildcats. Davidson. Gunn. Good defense by McWilliams. Penetration with the dribble drive. Young fouled on the arm.
A good drive there by the 5'5" senior Christian Young. She'll go back to the free throw line. She's been there 3 times already tonight. That foul's going to be on number 2, Elena Frankel, her second. Sorry, they put that on McWilliams.
Number 1 on McWilliams. Free throw is good by Young. 3 out of 4 from the free throw line tonight. She has 5 points in the ball game. Chance here to tie it.
Number 10, Sydney Hughes, checks back in for the Wildcats.
And we are tied for a second time tonight. Center Grove trying to get through this tenacious pressing defense by the Wildcats. Eck across midcourt, splits 2 defenders with the pass. McWilliams, she's going to fire the 3, swish. They're going to say she's on the line with that right foot, so give her 2, but what a big shot by McWilliams. She only averages .4 a game, so that's a huge basket for CG. Again, Brent, I think they said just 2.
They said 2.
The
one
score
official
clock,
said 3 and one said 2, but it was a 2.
that right foot by McWilliams was on the line, so they need to adjust the score clock and say it should be 22-20. And they're going to adjust it now with 3:40, or it should say 3:17 to play in the third. 22-20, CG by 2, and we'll see Mary Wilson back in. Emily Rake will go to the bench. And they still have not adjusted it on the score clock, and now they have. It's 22-20 CG. Trojans will throw it in. Again, trying to handle this pressing defense. Eck lost her dribble. They take it to the middle. McWilliams, there you go. Get it to the middle. And then pass it to the sideline, and Eck is fouled from behind. Christian Young gets her.
That's the way you break the press. They got it to the middle and spread it out a little bit. Good possession here by Center Grove.
Number 1 foul against Christian Young. Number 1 against LN. McWilliams, deep left corner. Out on top, Frankel. McWilliams working that middle. She keeps flashing, trying to get that ball in the middle. Eck on the baseline. Eck using her great strength, and we have travel, yes. Boy, there's a lot of bumping and just a lot of physical play going on, and Eck called for the walk.
Yeah, good defense there by Lawrence Norris. She tried to get it down low. She kind of lost her footing, and they called travel. Again, 22-20. Just a physical third quarter by both teams.
Center Grove hanging on to a 2-point lead, 22-20. 2:40 to play in the third. McWilliams guarding the ball out on top. Young dribbling, continues to dribble, finds Davidson. Young now switches off on Davidson. McWilliams sticks with Davidson. Fights over the pick. Smith. Gotta know where Smith is at all times. She's their leading scorer. Oh, nice penetration and give inside. Scoring the basket is Hughes. That's her first basket.
Yeah, good drive there by Christian Young.
Tied once again, 22 apiece. That was great recognition by Young on that pass. 1:45 to go in the third. And the Trojans will turn it over, a 10-second count. They just could not get it across the timeline.
Tough, suffocating press by Lawrence North, and Ashley Eck didn't have anywhere to go with it.
Wildcats look for their first lead since early in the game when they led 3-2. They've had several ties here in the third quarter, but Allen has not led since early in this ball game. There's a three. Deep right corner, doesn't go for Graves, but an offensive board for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Hughes, Sidney Hughes with a big offensive rebound for the Wildcats.
Davidson, skip pass, wide open. Three by Irvin. Kicks out long. Good job by Claire Rake to chase that one down. Wilson
Right
in the
back to her,
corner.
right back to her.
She got double teamed, taken away by Irvin. She has such quick hands.
Yes, she does. Good defensive possession there.
Young, Davidson, Graves, right back to Davidson. Good defense here on the perimeter by the Trojans. Davidson takes a tough shot, but Irvin was not blocked out from the corner. Another three by Graves. It's no good. So some good looks for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and their crowd's ready to explode, but they can't quite get it to go down as we're at 30 seconds now to play. See if Center Grove will hold for one.
We're in the third quarter, tied at 22 apiece. Center Grove appears maybe to go for one shot here in this quarter. Center Grove led at halftime, 18-12 by 6. The Wildcats have called their way back to tie this one. 12 seconds to play in the third. Wilson with 5 seconds. Frankel, 4, 3, and a jump ball. Christian Young was able to tie her up. Arrow says it belongs to the Wildcats with 2.6 seconds to play in the third. And Coach Chris Giffen, in his 8th year, calls a 30-second timeout. Coach Giffen, 168 wins, 35 losses. As the head coach of the Wildcats, 4 sectional titles, 3 regional titles. Had the semi-state championship last year, lost to Hamilton Southeastern in the state championship. And Brent, he spent 1 year as a grad assistant with Coach Bob Knight down at Texas Tech back in 2003, 2004, after spending 3 years, I believe, at IU as a basketball manager when Coach Knight was at IU.
I did not know that. More information by Kevin Conrad.
There you go.
You know everything.
And he spent 10 years with Coach Kiefer, the head coach at LN on the boys' side of things. He's been a JV coach, a freshman coach, and now the head coach of the girls program at LN for the last, now in his 8th year. So
he's done a great job. They're always solid and tough to beat. 2.6 seconds. They got a play drawn up.
They throw it ahead to Young at the buzzer. Foul against the Trojans. I think she's going to get 2 shots. I think Claire Rake is going to be called for her second foul, and they should be putting, yes, Christian Young at the line, where she is 4 out of 5 from the free throw line. She'll get a couple of shots here and a chance for the Wildcats to take their first lead since 3-2 early in the first quarter.
There has to be time on the clock if you call a foul, isn't that correct?
I would think they would have to put like 0.1, 0.2, or
Put something to
0.3.
call a foul.
And she misses here on the first one. She has one more coming. 4 out of 6 from the stripe. So I think they are going to put some time on the clock, possibly. If so, then they're now having a discussion. I would think you'd have to at least put 1 second or a little bit under that.
I don't know what they're discussing. It was definitely on a shot, but if they're going to call a foul on the shot, there has to be something left on the clock. You can't call a foul with 0 time.
So the officials continue to discuss something. The official talking with the Lawrence North head coach, Chris Giffen, about something.
I don't know what.
No time on the clock, so they're just going to allow her to shoot one more free throw. And Young misses on both free throws, so we have a tie ball game at the end of the third quarter here at the Vandy between Center Grove and Lawrence North. We got a great one. Come back. The fourth quarter is going to be one heck of a final quarter in this one. This is Lady Trojan basketball being presented by Evergreen Lawn Care. Tonight's Center Grove girls basketball webcast being presented by Evergreen Lawn Care. Evergreen Lawn Care has been keeping lawns green in Johnson County since 1988. Call 317-535-0300 for a free estimate. In the third quarter, Lawrence North with that pressuring defense outscored the Trojans 10-4 to get this game tied at 22 apiece as we get ready for the fourth quarter. Brent, you said it at the beginning of the third quarter. The big key would be the toughness. Could Center Grove secure the ball? And they had quite a few turnovers in that quarter, but give a lot of credit to Coach Giffin's Lawrence North team. They really pressure with the defense, and we see it right there to begin the fourth quarter. And scoring is Jayla Smith. Can the Trojans handle this pressuring defense?
Well, they're going to have to. They're going to have to show some toughness and grit right here in this fourth quarter. They trail for the first time in a long time, 24-22. Good job by Ashley Eck. Jayla Smith scored that last basket. She's in double figures with 10 for the Wildcats.
First lead for Lawrence North since leading 3-2 back in the first. 24-22.
Emily Rake is wide open underneath the basket, and they don't see her or can't get it to her.
Wilson had the hot hand in the first half for the Trojans with 8 points, and Rake also had 8 points in the first half, but minimal scoring here in the second half, and Wilson takes a tough shot there. She's short. In transition, Graves throws it to the corner. Three is short. Weak side rebound, Wilson. It appeared the Wildcats had something inside with Graves, and she elected to make the extra pass to the corner.
Again, Emily Rake's going to be wide open. If they can move the ball.
Inside, X scores, but credit Emily Rake with the assist. Yeah. Beautiful pass.
Patient, and Ashley Eck got her sealed, and they found her for a nice layup. Great job there by Emily Rake.
We're tied again at 24 apiece. Last year, Lawrence North beat Center Grove at LN 34-29. A lot of defense last year, a lot of defense here again tonight. Davidson can't finish. Tried to go off the glass.
She's had a tough night. She has not scored. She's a Miami of Ohio commit. She's a good basketball player, just having a tough night offensively. There's Ashley. I could love to see more of that.
Rebound. Christian Young, 5'5" guard. Went up high to get that one. Graves throws it back out on top. Smith, nice crossover dribble.
Great drive.
Wow, that's just pure athleticism by Jayla Smith. She's got 12 points. She leads all scores.
Tough to stop that.
Wildcats back in front by 2. 26-24. Turnover. Smith missed. Rake can't get the rebound. Smith tried to draw the foul. Threw up a circus shot. Rebound Trojans. And now the pass stolen by Smith. Spin move with the right hand, and she rolls it off. Emily Rake with the rebound.
She's frustrated with herself. It's a great move. She's tired right now, but she's playing great defense. A couple steals and a couple great moves. They just didn't go down, fortunately, for Center Grove. Center Grove still trails by 2.
Center Grove could be down 30-24, but it's 26-24 after a couple of missed opportunities by the Wildcats. Center Grove needs to get composed here. Try to get into a half-court set here. Center Grove trying to find something. Eck fakes the three. She's going to split the defender. She drives. Oh, she misses on the shot inside. I don't think she realized how easy of a shot that she had, and she doesn't miss too many, that is for sure. And I love the drive. It was there, and maybe Coach Stuckmeyer and the Lady Trojans saw something there. Maybe they could have some opportunities to drive the ball to the basket, because they're playing the passing lanes and they're also playing the perimeter shooters.
They're going to play Claire Rake and Mary Wilson. That's exactly what happened on that drive. They came over and didn't even try to stop Ashley Eck because they were too concerned with Mary Wilson over in the corner. And if she can do that, that's what I said at the start of the second half. They need somebody to get something established, and she can create the outside looks for Claire and Mary. If she can get a couple of those to go down, she keeps driving.
Full timeout called by Coach Chris Giffen of Lawrence North. 4:12 to play in the ball game. 26-24. Lawrence North by 2. Center Grove Magazine is proud to support Center Grove Trojan basketball. Center Grove Magazine, your hyper-local community magazine, highlighting people, places, things, and events happening right here in Center Grove. Center Grove Magazine for the community, about the community, to serve the community. Lawrence North basketball. Wildcats in front, 26-24. Center Grove man-to-man, full court pressure. Christian Young will bring it across the timeline. McWilliams in for the Trojans. She's had a great night defensively for the Trojans. Also has one big basket from the perimeter.
Okay, it just feels like they've dodged a couple bullets here in these last few possessions. They dodge another one, a wide open three.
Young was short. Good job by Claire Rake, again sealing off her player and then going to get the rebound. McWilliams double teamed, had it taken away. She just lost the handle of the ball.
Well, we've got to be tough with her right now. Oh my gosh, they let her go wide open right down the lane. She
Good
missed
help.
it again. Yeah.
Good help by Frankel. She made her adjust a little bit. So far, the defense just better than the offense tonight. That's a lot of credit to both teams and how great the defense has been.
Elena Frankel and Ashley Eck need to drive this basketball.
Eck double team. Now she's going to go baseline to the corner. Carr for a three. Yes, sir!
Big basket. Emily Carr.
Emily Carr, freshman, her first basket. Puts Center Grove back in front, 27-26. That was huge. You're right. They're trying to take away Wilson and Claire Rake. They're forcing Center Grove to win with the other three on the court. And I believe the officials want the Center Grove bench, the players, to stay seated. They got a little excited on that big three by Carr, so they're just telling the bench to remain seated. Some officials are okay with the players standing.
I don't understand. I mean, you can't
Some
stand
officials,
up and cheer your team.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
I see it watching Ben play all the time. They tell the college kids to sit down, and I just don't get it. There's a great pass to Lauren Gunn.
She scores it. She's fouled. Chance for an old-fashioned three-point play for Lauren Gunn. That's her first basket.
Yeah, good play there by Jayla Smith to find Gunn. Foul's going to be on Emily Rake.
Foul number 2 on Emily. 28-27. Ellen back in front by 1. She misses on the free throw. So a 1-point lead for the Wildcats. 2:45 to play in the game. 2:45 to play. Our score very similar to last year's game when Lawrence North won on its home court against Center Grove, 34-29.
Well, let's see if we can break this string of losses to LN.
Center Grove has lost 14 straight to the Wildcats. Last time the Trojans beat them was all the way back in 2005. And inside is Mary Wilson scoring her first basket here in the second half. She's Center Grove's first player in double figures with 10.
It's a great play. They used a three-point shot to kind of lure LN out there, and she back cut, and Claire Rake found her. Great pass by Claire.
Center Grove back in front, 29-28. 2 minutes to play in the game, 2 minutes. Trojans by 1. Young, skip pass. Irvin to the corner. Davidson for 3. She's long with it. Rebound, Frankel. 1:50 to play. Center Grove trying to snap a 14-game slide against the Wildcats. Center Grove by 1, 29-28. Center Grove spreading the floor. Going to work some clock here. Working for that high percentage shot. Frankel out on top, dribbling. Down to a minute 30, 90 seconds in this game.
And right now is what Coach Stuckmeyer wants to see out of his team. If they have the toughness and the grit to finish this, and great pass.
Inside to Eck, and the reach-in foul against Lawrence North, against Taylon Irvin, I believe.
It's a good pass there to the interior.
For Lawrence North, again, they're already MIC champs this year. They're 6-0. Center Grove trying to hand the Wildcats their first loss in conference play this season. A timeout called with a minute 20 to play. Center Grove 29, Lawrence North 28. Again, the last time the Trojans beat the Wildcats, you go back to January 28, 2005 at Lawrence North, 58-51. Joe Lentz, head coach of the Trojans then. And the last time the Trojans won here on the home court against the Wildcats, January 30th, 2004, 68-56. Also Coach Joe Lentz, the coach of the Trojans then. So it's been a while since the Trojans have knocked off this Wildcat team, and Center Grove in front, 29-28, going right down to the wire.
Yeah, we have an update through 3 quarters from Lawrence North. The Wildcats now lead Center Grove 51-21. So Lawrence North flexing their muscles against the boys up at Lawrence North. Having a great game here. 29-28. It's been close all night. It's the biggest lead, 6? Maybe a little more than that for Center Grove early.
Yeah, 11-5. They led by 6. Looks like
18-12 at halftime.
18-12, 6 points.
6, I think, the most. So great game between these two MIC rivals. Minute 20 to play. Possession arrow favors Lawrence North in case of a tie-up.
Near turnover. Center Grove working the ball around the perimeter.
If they can hold the ball.
3 fouls on Center Grove, 2 fouls on Lawrence North. So we are a long ways away from either team being the 1-1.
This defense, though, it's going to be tough to hold the ball for a minute. We're inside a minute to play, 55 seconds.
And if there's a jump ball, it will go to Lawrence North. And now a reach-in foul called against Christian Young, her second.
Yeah, that's what they wanted. That's only 3 team fouls. So
you can be aggressive, extra aggressive with your defense. Try to get the steal. If you get a foul, hey, you got 4 to give before you're in the 1-1 for the Trojans. 53 seconds to play in the ball game. Frankel in the backcourt. Center Grove in front by 1. Now she's double teamed.
There's another foul.
Another foul on Christian Young. That's her 3rd.
She's upset, like calling a block, but she put 2 hands on Elena Frankel. That's 3 on Young.
.45 seconds to play. Eck finds Emily Rake. Now to Frankel.
They had Mary Wilson for a layup, but they just saw her and they didn't see her. We're at 35 seconds now, and another foul. That's going to be Jayla Smith, probably. Yep, 24. That's Jayla Smith.
And I misspoke for Lawrence North next week. They do have a sectional bye next week. They're going to play the winner of Warren Central and Tech. I think I said North Central.
Yeah.
So they'll play the winner of Warren Central and Tech next Friday. The winner, most likely Warren Central. And they'll play next Friday at 6 o'clock at Tech High School. So I misspoke on that earlier. But for the Lady Trojans, CG will host Shelbyville in the Center Grove sectional here on Tuesday at 7:30. And now we have a timeout call with 33 seconds remaining. Center Grove 29, Lawrence North 28. Again, LN ranked number 4 in the latest computer rankings in the state of Indiana, and Center Grove ranked number 14. And this would be huge for the Trojans as far as confidence and momentum going into the state tournament if they can hold on.
Yeah, I think they've gained confidence regardless. I mean, obviously they want to win, and you always want to win a basketball game, as does Lawrence North. But I think for Center Grove, they've done what they want to do. They got back to their defensive ways. They've held the number 4 team in the state to 28 points with 33 seconds to play. They've showed toughness, a few turnovers here and there, but they've been pretty solid. And I think Coach Stuckmeyer is going to be pretty pleased on what they've got accomplished tonight.
I would agree. Better energy tonight by the Trojans in all facets of the game. They throw it to Frankel and reach in foul by Young, and that'll be 4 on Young. And
yeah, now she can't foul again. That'd be a big loss. Got to be careful where you throw this ball. You really want Mary Wilson or Claire Rake when they're shooting over 85% on the year.
6 team fouls against Lawrence North. Next one would put the Trojans in the 1-and-1, and good job by Wilson to come to the ball. And now, do we have a jump ball or a foul? I'm going to say jump ball, and it will be Lawrence North basketball. Young this time gets the jump ball. She ties up Wilson. Both officials kind of looked at each other and
looked like the right call from up here. It didn't look like much of a foul, but now Center Grove really needs to stop the drive here of Christian Young.
20 seconds in the ball game. Center Grove by 1, and Young is fouled. They're going to put that one on Frankel. She tried to wall her off, and they're going to put that one on Frankel, and it will be a 2-shot foul for Christian Young. And she missed her last 2 free throw attempts at the end of the third quarter, and this will be the first time to the free throw line here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, she's 4 of 7 on the night, I believe. First one up and good.
She ties the ball game at 29 apiece. 19 seconds left to play in the game. Young, a senior, a chance to give her team the lead. She's short, rebound, Claire Rake. Down to 15 seconds. Claire Rake across midcourt, reach in foul, and that will put the Trojans in a 1-and-1 situation. Claire Rake at the line to shoot 1 and the bonus, with the game tied at 29. 13.7 seconds left to play, and Christian Young fouls out of this ball game.
Yeah, what a silly foul there by Lawrence North. Coach Given not happy, especially when it comes on Christian Young, a reach-in call.
7 points for Christian Young tonight. She had a field goal along with 4 free throws.
She's a good creator. She's so quick with the ball from the point. I'm probably going to go to Jayla Smith. Get the ball in her hands.
Graves checks in. 13.7 seconds to go in the ball game. Claire Rake, senior, first trip to the free throw line tonight, 1 and the bonus. She has 8 points tonight. Free throw is good. That breaks the tie. Center Grove in front, 30-29.
Big free throw here by the senior Claire Rake.
And she got them both.
That's who I'd want at the line, if anyone, her, Mary Wilson. Big clutch free throws by the senior Claire Rake.
So Claire Rake with 10 points, Mary Wilson with 10 points. Center Grove by 2, 31-29. 13.7 seconds remaining in tonight's MIC matchup. Timeout, a full timeout called by Coach Kevin Stuckmeyer.
What a game. 3:45 to play in the boys' game up at Lawrence North. It's 60-28 in favor of the Wildcats.
So the Trojans here have at least 3 fouls to give before 1-and-1, so they can be aggressive here with the defense. And the alternating arrow belongs to the Trojans. So if there is a jump ball, Center Grove would get the ball back. So again, Brent, I think defensively they can be a little aggressive here. Again, not quite in the 1-on-1 as of yet for Lawrence North.
Yeah, I think that's set up around half court. And once they get it to half court, foul a couple times. And the time you don't want to foul is on the shot, obviously. But like you said, they could run 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds off the clock here with a couple of fouls if they time them correctly.
The big key here, block out, seal off your man, get the rebound.
Absolutely.
Because a putback would be costly at this point. A putback would obviously tie this game. So again, Lawrence North is going to crash the boards.
And hopefully they recognize they have fouls to give. I'm sure Coach Stuck does. And they're not. They're going to let them roll it up. You got to get up and you got to come up. Don't let them roll it in.
They're going to roll it.
You got to come up. You got to come up.
She didn't let it roll very long. That's Davidson
Foul
across
right now, just foul.
the timeline. She's trying to
Oh,
drive.
let her shoot it.
And she missed it. Rebound. Ashley Eck, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And the Trojans are fouled with 0.8 seconds.
That's a jump ball.
Oh, jump ball, but it's Center Grove basketball.
Center Grove basketball.
With 0.8 seconds, Center Grove's got to get the ball in bounds, not allow the steal.
Big play there by Ashley Eck.
And also great play by Emily Rake. She walled her
Walled her
off.
up. Yep. I was hoping they were going to foul, but turns out Coach Stuck knows more than me. So great play there by
Center
Emily
Grove
Rake.
trying to snap this 14-game slide against Lawrence North.
You got to throw it deep, don't you, Kevin? When you throw it deep, there's no way they can catch it with 0.8 and turn and throw it and
That's
score
true.
it.
That's true. As long as you don't throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, you just can't throw it out of bounds. You can't hit the scoreboard. One of the two. Just throw it back.
0.8 seconds left.
But I'm a golf coach, so
What do you know, right?
I don't know anything. I just want to know it. I want to think I know. Well, nonetheless, we talked about it earlier. Center Grove got to accomplish what they wanted to tonight. They got their toughness. They got the grit back. Exactly what Coach Stuck wanted to see heading into the state tournament. They've shot the ball well. Claire Rake gained confidence. She has 10 points, as does Mary Wilson.
Here we go. Center Grove will throw it in. Frankel will throw it in. Trying to get it in, and they throw it off of one of the LN players, and it goes out of bounds. Well done by Frankel. 0.4 seconds now left in the ball game. She just threw it off one of the LN players. It went out of bounds and went from 0.8 to 0.4. She couldn't quite get it in, so she threw it off one of the players. So again, you would think, yep, they get it to Wilson. That's the ball game. Center Grove does it, 31-29. Lady Trojans knock off the number 4 team in the state of Indiana, the Lawrence North Wildcats. The Wildcats suffering their first loss in conference play. They will conclude as McChance, but they will finish with a record of 6-1 in conference play for the Lady Trojans. 4 wins, 3 losses in conference play. Center Grove overall, 18 wins, 5 losses. Lawrence North 20-4 overall. What a great win for Coach Kevin Stuckmeyer and the Lady Trojans. Stay tuned. Coming up on our post-game show, we'll try to chat with Kevin Stuckmeyer, also Claire Rake, and also Mary Wilson on the post-game show. Brent Nickerson down on the court. Once they come out of the locker room, we'll try to get a few words with some of the stars in tonight's ball game. What a team effort tonight by the Trojans. Defense was awesome. The intensity much better tonight for the Center Grove Trojans. And between Claire Rake and Mary Wilson, each scoring 10 points apiece to lead the way for the Trojans. They scored 20 of the team's 31 points. And the final score tonight from the Vandy, 31-29. Center Grove hangs on to knock off the Lawrence North Wildcats. First time the Trojans beat the Wildcats since 2005. First time they won here at home since 2004 against Lawrence North. Up next, our post-game show. This is Center Grove Trojan basketball. Big win tonight for the Lady Trojans here in the regular season finale On the home court, Center Grove knocking off the number 4 team in the state of Indiana, Lawrence North, 31-29 your final. Center Grove will conclude play here at home during the regular season, 8 wins, 1 loss. Under Coach Stuckmeyer now in his 3rd year as head coach for the Trojans, Center Grove on the home court, 22 wins, 4 losses. 22-4 here at home over the past 3 seasons for the Trojans under Kevin Stuckmeyer. Impressive number as the Trojans take care of business here on the home court. Scoring summary tonight, Center Grove outscored Lawrence North in that opening quarter 11-5. Each team scored 7 points in the second quarter. It was 18-12 at intermission. Center Grove led by 6. Lawrence North with a great third quarter, great defensive intensity, outscoring the Trojans 10-4, had the game tied at 22 apiece. And in the fourth quarter, Center Grove outscores the Wildcats 9-7 to win it by 2 here on the home court. Standing by is Brent Nickerson with several guests down on the court with Coach Stuckmeyer, also Mary Wilson and Claire Rake, and we'll send it to Brent right now. Brent, take it away.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much. Obviously a great win tonight by Center Grove. They win 31-29, and Coach Stuck, we talked this morning about kind of regaining your identity, regaining that mental toughness and the defense. Talk about how that led to this victory.
Absolutely. These 2 girls and the other ones in the locker room that have been around for 2-3 years, they have an identity, and everybody around the state knows Center Grove's identity. I would agree we've maybe gotten away or kind of let that slide a little bit, but tonight's a perfect night to take care of that in a conference at the end of the year against the Lawrence North team that's probably a top 5 team in the state. They should be very proud of that, and that should build confidence and momentum going into this tournament run, but it should also remind them that when you play that way, you can play with anybody.
Absolutely. You hold the number 4 team to 29 points, and we talked about their length and their athleticism on the press. Girls did a pretty good job. There was a few turnovers here and there, but for the most part, they did a great job.
You're never going to play a perfect game. It's how you respond to that adversity or some of those turnovers. And that third quarter kind of went that way, but they're a top 5 team. They're going to give you that run back. It's how you respond back to that. And we were the tougher team in the fourth quarter, which made the difference.
That's what we talked about this morning. They won 19 games in a row for a reason. Congratulations on the win. Mary, Claire, congratulations, first of all. Talk about, it's tough to get shots off out there. They're a good defense. Talk about how you had to work and work and work to get your shots open.
Yeah, it's a little bit different when, you play a top 5 team in the state, but I had to, focus on my teammates and know that they would get me the ball, get Claire the ball, and you just have to be more patient in those kind of situations.
As Coach Stuck said, you guys were really, really tough in that fourth quarter. Talk about your mentality entering the fourth. A tie ball game or close the entire fourth quarter. Talk about that a little bit.
Just the mentality is that we work so hard in practice. We prepare so much, and the mentality is that in that fourth quarter we want that win the most, and we're gonna do anything we can to get that win.
Congratulations on the win. Claire, move in here real quick. Claire, we talked a little bit about the lid's been on the basket a little bit for you the last couple of games, but you just have to keep shooting. You did that tonight. Just talk about your entire team effort and what led to this win.
We just shared the ball well, and I think our defense was finally back. We haven't had that since HSC and Warren, and I think it was just a complete team win overall.
Defense, you guys talked about it at senior night. The girls that were out here talked about it. It all starts from your defense. That happened tonight. Last regular season game as a Center Grove Trojan in the Vandy Gym, you beat number 4 Lawrence North. Talk about how this is going to lead into what comes up in the sectional.
I think it just keeps us hungry for the sectional. We know we want to win sectional, and we want to finally get past the second game in regionals, and I think this is the year that we can do it. I know a lot of teams probably count us out, but together we know we can get past it. So.
The target's going to be on your back, and that's exactly where you want it, right? Congratulations to you two. Coach Stuck, one last thing. We talked about Shelbyville, a new opponent coming up in sectional. Just talk about how your team's going to prepare for the next part of this season in sectional.
Well, we have to enjoy this one, and then we have to understand that this one eventually moves on. And we have to shift gears, and we have to continue, like you talked about, our identity and our momentum and doing it the right way. So it really doesn't matter the opponent. We got to take care of that, and you got to take care of Shelbyville to get to the next step. We don't know a lot about them. They're new, so it's going to be a different look for us. They'll zone us a lot, like some of the teams in the county and that have. And it was nice tonight to be able to see a little bit zone. Theirs will be a little bit more packed in and not out where all the gaps are in the middle, so we'll have to adjust to that a little bit.
Well, congratulations to you three. Best of luck as we move into sectional play. Congratulations. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you very much, Brent. Down on the court with Kevin Stuckmeyer, head coach, along with senior Claire Rake and junior Mary Wilson. Again, Claire Rake and Mary Wilson, each with 10 points tonight. and just an all-around team effort tonight to get this win against a very good Lawrence North team. Again, the Trojans had lost 14 in a row against the Wildcats, so this is a big win for Coach Kevin Stuckmeyer and his program to knock off a very well-coached Lawrence North team. Chris Giffen does an excellent job for Lawrence North, and it's potential that these two teams could meet again. That would be the semi-state round. Obviously, both teams have to win sectional and regional, but it's potentially that they could meet again in that semi-state round. And last year, Lawrence North won a sectional, regional, semi-state, and lost in the state championship to Hamilton Southeastern. So they're definitely a quality opponent. And then the Trojans now, as Coach Stuckmeyer said, enjoy the win for now, but there's going to come a time where you got to let this one go and learn from it and get ready for Shelbyville, a team that the Center Grove Trojans have not played, at least in recent history. And my quick check, I don't think that they've played Shelbyville ever in the state tournament. So they're going to play them on Tuesday night at 7:30 here at the Vandy. And now Brent Nickerson rejoins me here on Press Row. And Brent, great job with the post-game interviews. I just love what the players had to say. It's always about the team and just being gritty down the stretch. And Coach said that he just felt like we made enough plays in that fourth quarter to pull out the win tonight.
Yeah, and I think what he said, I mean, being the tougher team in the fourth quarter.
Right.
When I talked to him this morning, that's exactly what he wanted to see, is getting that back. And they had it early in the season. And not that they didn't have it here lately. They just ran into some good teams and possessions went here and there, but the defensive end is where they know it starts, and they did a great job tonight holding Lawrence North to 29.
Brent, I know you have our scores from tonight's ball game.
All right, we'll start with the Lawrence North Wildcats. 2 points from Sydney Hughes, 2 as well from Lauren Gunn. They got 3 points from Anijah Graves and 3 as well from Kayla Irvin. 7 points from the 5'5" senior Kristen Young before she fouled out of the game, and they were led in scoring by the 5'11" junior Jayla Smith, who had 12. For Center Grove, they had 2 points from Elena Frankel, 4 from the senior Ashley Eck, who just played a hard basketball game. She played great tonight. Emily Carr with a huge 3 for her 3 points. Emily McWilliams had 2. And as usual, they were led in scoring by Claire Rake and Mary Wilson with 10 apiece. So, again, just a hard-fought, tough victory. 31 points wins the game. That's just a credit to the defense. So your final again, 31-29, Center Grove.
And before we exit out of here, again next week, Center Grove hosting the sectional on Tuesday at 7:30 against Shelbyville. If the Trojans win that game, they would advance to the semifinal round next Friday here at Center Grove to play the second game against Whiteland. Whiteland got a first-round bye, and the sectional championship scheduled for next Saturday night. So again, the Trojans have that opportunity to play here on the home court. I know that's always special, but especially for these 4 seniors, Claire Rake, Emily Rake, Ashley Eck, and Elena Frankel, have that opportunity to play the sectional here on the home court. They've won the sectional the last 2 years, so they're trying to make it 3 in a row next week.
Yeah, and you could see the emotion from those girls and Coach Stuck. That they were very, very excited about this win. Just seeing them close up, and as soon as Coach Stuck walked down, I said, it's exactly what you talked about this morning. They did what you wanted. He's like, this is a credit to all those ladies in that locker room, and you could tell it was an emotional win tonight for them.
Earlier tonight, we had the JV girls basketball game, and the Lady Trojans beat Lawrence North 58-18, so the JV team concludes the year at 13 wins, 8 losses. Up on the northeast side, the JV CG boys basketball team won at Lawrence North 48-32. And last report, the CG boys varsity team was losing by quite a bit to a very good Jack Kiefer Lawrence North team. So again, getting 3 wins out of 4, not bad tonight. Again, we knew that the boys team were going to play a very good Wildcat team. So,
yeah, that game ended up 73-38, I believe. 73-38 in favor of Lawrence North.
So for the boys team, they'll be back in action on Tuesday. They will go to Cathedral. So a couple of games on Tuesday night. You got your pick. You can go watch the boys play at Cathedral, or you come here at the Vandy and watch the girls play Shelbyville in the second game of the sectional. Well, Brent, I appreciate your work tonight. It's been a great week of basketball. We saw the senior night on Tuesday, a good win for the Lady Trojans, and they closed it out here on the home court with another big win over the Lawrence North Wildcats in this conference thriller.
Yeah, it's fun to watch these girls play. They're so unselfish, and as you said, they always talk about team. And, whether you choose to go to watch Cathedral and the boys play, or you come here. It's going to be a great week of basketball coming up for Center Grove.
And we shall see you next week. Thanks,
All right,
Brent.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Enjoy your Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Packers aren't in it, so that's going to be a little tougher.
No Packers, no Colts. Also, big thank you to our sponsors. Once again, Evergreen Lawn Care, our presenting sponsor tonight for both the JV and Varsity webcasts tonight. Evergreen Lawn Care has been helping lawns in the Center Grove and Johnson County area staying green and lush since 1988. Call 317-535-0300 for a free estimate. Also, a big thank you to all these other sponsors throughout the season. Center Grove Magazine, Farmers Insurance, the Jenny Stoop Agency, also Chicago's Pizza located in Franklin and Greenwood, also the Center Grove Girls Basketball League, Huntington Bank, Frost Brown Todd Law Firm, North Point Engineering, Farmers Insurance, like I mentioned before, with the Jenny Stoops Agency, Aqua Systems, Street Dreams, Stadium Graphics, and also Family Watchdog. Tonight's game was produced by CG Sports Network. Once again, Center Grove hangs on to beat Lawrence North 31-29. CG now 18 wins, 5 losses to conclude the regular season, getting ready for the state tournament. Lawrence North ends the season 20 wins, 4 losses. The Trojans host Shelbyville in the sectional opener on Tuesday at 7:30. Until next time, this is Kevin Conrad for Brent Nickerson saying good night, everyone, from the Vandy Gym at Center Grove High School.